there's definitely a lot more torque there. Boot it. Oh, wheel spinning. Wow! Fair play, Darkside.
Right then, bit of content that people want. So this is Alex from Auto Alex.
Hello.
People have seen his video where he's Fabia already, which he's going to give away, I think. Maybe. He might like it that much he keeps it, so
Nah.
be careful.
Nah, that's not going to happen.
You never know, you never know. But yeah, this is a Fabia. We'd say in Europe they call them boxes when they look like this, but I don't like using that term because I don't like swearing on my own channel. I think it's a used daily car that needs a bit of TLC. So Alex has booked in for wanting around 200 horsepower. Hopefully we crack it, and yeah, then going to give it away to the happy subscriber when he gets to 500,000. So if he ain't already there, get on there and subscribe. And how are you going to work that anyway?
I'm just going to put it into literally into subs into random generator.
Right.
And then I'll just pick someone and then I'll message them. And if they're in the UK, then they can have it.
If they're not in UK, they're not having it.
No, I don't know.
It sounds like hassle, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
We don't do that, but it does sound like hassle.
Yeah, it's going to be hassle.
So yeah, we'll get it in workshop as soon as we can. I'm not going to go out and drive it because I want to have a look underneath it first, because Alex gave 500 quid for it, which doesn't usually buy you a full car. So
It's a good car. It is a shit box though. Sorry to swear on your
it's
channel.
all right. It's all right. We'll bleep it out.
All right.
It's all right. Yeah. We're gonna have to cut that bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll. So yeah, he says it's a good car. I'm sure you've drove it.
Yep.
It got trailered up here, but that sometimes rings alarm bells. We get that quite often. Yeah, it drove fine, and then you realise it probably there's a reason why it got trailered.
You know why I did that though? It's because I've got Jay, my cameraman, and I just wanted to save fuel. Otherwise he'd have to drive his car and I'd have to drive that car, and then.
No matter how much Alex has got, he's still frugal, which is why I think he'll want a diesel daily from now on. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, got Alex's Fabia on the dyno now. Not that we needed to do this, but generally when we've got a car in for quite a bit of work, when it's already been tuned before and stuff, it's nice to know where we are and find any potential problems now rather than later, which I think we have, but we'll have a look at where we are now, and then we'll discuss what we think the potential problems are and why what we're doing is the better way of doing it. Whether it's quicker or cheaper makes no difference. This is the right way of doing it. These normally do anything from 130 to 145 horsepower. Usually the later they are, like the 07, 57 ones, they do 145 horsepower. But this one did 121, which is a little bit down. So looking at this region here, the green lines are the standard figures. It seems a bit flat. Normally they're sort of a bit more lumped up here. But anyway, torque's a little bit down, I'd say, as well. Probably should be another 20 foot-pounds there. But it's down. Then I believe, I've not watched the video, but I believe there's a video going around of this having some sort of genetic tune and a bit of dyno time. 144 horsepower, like I say, that's not far above what it should be. Not standard as such, but when we get them in. And then the torque is lower. Now that, to us, made us start looking and thinking we've got a problem somewhere. because usually these will do much more. So we put one of our sort of standard tunes on there and didn't quite get where we wanted to get to. But then after a bit of custom tuning, we managed to get to 161, 280 pounds of torque, which is pretty much where these normally are with a standard intercooler on. You put a bigger intercooler on this, it'll do 170 plus all day, no problem. Then put the bigger turbo on, hopefully get to the 200. But to get that power, we've had to squeeze the duration all the way to pretty much maxing these standard injectors out, which on a normal car, that'd be 220, 230 horsepower's worth of fuel, something like that. Where we are now is definitely above 200 horsepower, even if the injectors were a little bit worn. And it's not really smoking any worse than it should be, maybe a little bit more, but it's not translating into power. So if the injectors are not damaged, which not usually at this sort of mileage or this bad, it's got the wrong ones in. So when we take the rocker cover off, we'll have a look at the part number, and we've got to take these out and send them off for testing. Otherwise, we're not going to get to the power figures that we want. If we send them off for testing and they prove to be faulty, we'll just whack a set that we've got on the shelf in there if Alex wants us to, and then we'll get it sorted. It is going to be a bit more expensive, but there's no point running around with, we're an intercooler, we will do more power, we're a bigger turbo, we will do more power, but we're going to be squeezing it to get it to the 200, and I don't think I'd be happy doing that because it will be getting too hot because the duration will be too long. So this is why the custom tuning is the best way of doing things. Dynoing it on a dyno that's done hundreds of these, it makes most sense. That's not to say anybody's done anything wrong. The previous guys that tuned, if they've put a tune on there that should work, it should work. But if it's got the wrong injector or the damage, it's not delivering the fuel, so it's never going to make the power regardless. But it's not coming up with any fault codes, it's not running lumpy, it's just physically not making the power on this dyno until you open the injectors for a longer amount of time to try and get more fuel from. So anyway, I digress. I've been talking a bit too much. Let's get in the workshop and get the next stage sorted.
So, I'm not Ryan, obviously, but he's not in today, but we have got Alex's Fabia on the ramp, and I know Ryan said when we were in the dyno that we needed to check the injectors when the rocker cover were off. So, the rocker cover's off, let's have a look what injectors are in it. So, I'm not sure if you can make that out on the video, but these are AL injectors, which are correct. All four are the same, which means we've got a problem elsewhere. So the next step for this, we're going to have to get these injectors out, send them off for testing. I think in the meantime we might just get a set of tested injectors off the shelf, fit those in, see what the results are of these ones when they've been tested. I think injector number 2 deviation was -2? -2, so that one was a little bit out. We believe that one to be the problem, but let's see what they all do. So I'll leave Ruben to whip the injectors out. Yeah, take it from there. So just a quick one while we're under the car. That's the sump plug, and it's absolutely caked in Tiger Seal or silicone. Good thing is, whatever leak they had before seems to be fixed, very dry. But yeah, Roman's got a nice job of trying to get that out now.
So, Alex's car's back on the dyno after doing the turbo, intercooler, all that sort of stuff. As we said when it were in the dyno last time, we thought the injectors were damaged. Turned out they were completely no good. So even the injectors, even though this car drove here and it were fine as far as the concern, it did power. It didn't do all the power, but it did power. When we sent those injectors off for testing, we've got quite a narrow band on what we're happy with, tolerance-wise. All four failed on fuel delivery, but they also failed, the bodies failed on the response times, which means then if we'd have fitted big nozzles to them injectors, they just wouldn't have performed. So this is the issue that we tend to have a lot when other people have nozzles fitted and then they bring them to here for tuning. We have massive issues, smoke, timing not working exactly as you'd expect, so it's smoking at idle, smoking at higher RPM more than it should be and stuff like that, and that is purely because the bodies, they're not really serviceable. A lot of people do repair them, but we generally don't get involved in that because the equipment that you need to do that and getting it perfect takes longer than just putting another set in that meet them tight tolerances we've got, and it works. So yeah, the injectors were definitely all goosed. They've all gone in the bin, so Alex has got 4 new tester ones in there. If we could have got away without doing it, it'd have made our job a lot quicker and a lot easier, and Alex's bill a little bit cheaper, but to do it right, we've had to do it that way. So the other thing, this car's got plastic tyres on. They're all cracked, they're all dying, they're not good. That's not been helping us on the dyno. Alex has got us to get some new ones. I think they'll be sorted beforehand, so the rapids will disappear. So yeah, dyno figures. As you can see, 121's what it did in green, and 220 pounds-feet of torque roughly. 161 and 280 pounds of torque is what it did with our tune on, but that obviously weren't what we wanted. And then now we're at 205 horsepower and 340 pounds of torque. But as you can see here, this little thing, my mouse is not working very good, but this thing here is wheel spin and a little bit of clutch slip built into that as well. So we're going to have to just tame the torque down. On the road, there's no point doing it now and here because the dyno loads it up a lot differently. You get a little bit more torque as you get on it, which sometimes starts a clutch slipping and then it just wants to keep slipping anyway. We'll get on the road, put it into 6th gear, just put the foot down and just see what happens at 2,000, 2,200 RPM. If it doesn't slip then, it'll be absolutely fine. If not, we'll have to just keep turning it down until it stops doing that. So yeah, really happy with the results so far. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to drive it before it gets picked up because I've got to go like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, hopefully it drives a lot better than it did. I didn't drive it beforehand. I know what these drive like. I've drove a million of them. But really happy with the power. 205 is as much as these turbos will do. It's not often we get them where they're doing much more than that, but the cam time has been adjusted. The injector lash now we know is absolutely perfect. The injectors are all perfect. It's got a brand new intercooler. Everything on this we know is absolutely bang on, and that's why it's done this much power. But it's not as easy as just flash a map on it and bolt a couple of bits and away you go. There's a lot of little bits going to these, even though they're pretty simple engines. And as you could see from the beginning of this video, you can drive a car in before dead injectors, still retain a good fuel economy. It just, when you get into the point where you want to tune it, it ain't doing what you want it to do. So, yeah, PDs are still a good engine, still one of the best engines, but they're getting a bit long in tooth now, so they're going to be maintained properly. So, see how it goes on the road. So Alex is back. We've pretty much done everything we said we're going to do.
Except clean the car.
Yeah, we ain't cleaned it. We never clean them. Times 3. So after the last bit of the video I recorded, which seems like ages ago, but it weren't, just Christmas happened and New Year and stuff. We put a new flywheel in, got it dialed in on the road, back to where it should be, and we put new tyres on it. So Alex, although it's a in his words, we'll bleep that out from my video, it's had some love. So whoever wins it should be happy. We'll go for a little drive, see what Alex reckons to it, and that's our video done. And trying to like converge videos together and not repeat yourself and actually repeat yourself.
If I'm not impressed and if I don't like it, do I get a full refund?
No.
Yeah, but we keep car.
Fine, you can have it.
Easy
No,
enough to
let's go for a drive.
Yeah,
I'm
sweet.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go for it.
You guys have done quite a lot of work to my glorious little box. Why don't you quickly talk us through what's been done? Because the list was quite a lot bigger than anyone anticipated.
Yeah. It, more than usual for these type of cars as well. So it came in, we put it on the dyno with the tune it had on originally, which the tune didn't look anything bad, but the power just weren't there. It did 144. So then we've obviously thought, what's wrong? Turned it up a bit, still didn't make the power. Sent all 4 injectors off for testing, and all 4 came back in red bags.
Right, okay. Which way am I going, by the way?
That way would have been better for a big.
okay.
But it needs warming up, so it's alright.
Yeah, we'll just go round the roundabout a few times.
There's stuff falling out all over the place.
Bloody hell.
Exactly. Yeah, so all 4 came back in red bags, which means they need to scoot bin. I don't know why they even send them as back. They should just tell us they're dead, but they didn't. They send them back. So we've had to put 4 injectors in, which they're used tested ones, so keeping costs down.
Oh, thank you.
And then it originally were booked in for the intercooler, the turbo upgrade, so it's got a PD130 intercooler, which is from a beef Cooper intercooler. All the hard pipes, which is good because Alex is taking many adjustments on his drive.
Got to dial it in,
yeah,
right?
proper fussy racing drive. EGR delete because it's just leaking everywhere. And then when we go back on the dyno, the clutch just started slipping all the time. So the guy spent like a full day messing about trying to stop it slipping when they should have just said it needs a clutch.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, put the clutch in. 4 new tyres as well because they've got loads of tread on them, but the car dealer had used them.
They were crap, yeah.
So yeah, we sorted them. Obviously part of the turbo, we always put a downpipe on these as well. So it's got our 2.5 inch downpipe on.
It wasn't a simple job. I gave the Darkside guys a bit of a but you know, they've obviously done everything by the book and gone above and beyond, because when the channel hits 500,000 subscribers, this car is going to be given away to one of you guys, so we need to make sure that it's not a dog.
Yeah,
right?
This is the thing, we're sort of in that in-between where you don't want to spend tons of money unnecessarily, but it needs to be right, and that's what we generally try and do. If the budget never allowed a lot of things, we'd have to scale some other stuff back, I think.
Yeah. It had to be done right, and it had to be a fast car.
It did. It's going to be pretty quick. I've not been in it either.
Have you not?
So, no, I've not been in it. So it might have more power than suspension and brakes now. You never know. But
yeah. So the Danny did say that the front brakes need doing, so they're going to be upgraded as well.
Oh, that's nice.
So again, you're welcome. I can hear a wheel bearing.
Probably.
So yeah, that needs doing as well. Oh, bloody hell! This £500 Fabia VRS is going to end up costing about £3 grand.
Yeah. I don't even know what your bill is, wheels, because I tend to ignore them things. I just get told what needs to be done and just say.
Yeah. Well, you are the boss. You have the power just to wipe the bill.
I do want to do that.
You do want to do that?
I do not want to do that.
Oh, you do not want to do that? Okay,
no,
right. Okay. Anyway, the car is pretty much warmed up now. We're about 70 degrees. Shall I knock it into third and then we'll have a little...
If you feel like doing that, let's go for it.
Alright, okay, here we go. Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot more torque there. (2,000 RPM, 20 miles an hour, boot it. Oh, wheel spinning. And we are doing, God, heck, 60 miles an hour. We can get up there quickly.
This is the spec I'd have if it were a sort of not cheap but not budget busting thing like everything we does, like we get everything.
Yeah.
But this is the spec that best horsepower per pound spent. Definitely.
And this is the type of car that when you get onto a motorway, you will get up to motorway speeds really quickly as well. And then you'll be in lane 3, overtaking, nice and easy, happy days.
Still doing 50 to gallon.
Oh, I like that.
That's
I like the sound of that.
More than 50 in these, to be fair. It loves it.
And even with brand new tyres, it is wheel spinning. Wow! Fair play, Darkside. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
very happy.
It's been a long time since I've been in one with this spec, and it still surprises me.
Yeah, that 4th gear pull is lovely. And it does feel really nice, kind of clean torque curve.
Yeah, it's not like peaky.
No.
Yeah.
But no, that is that's really good. I'm really happy. Definitely worth the upgrades. And these are the upgrades that will keep an owner like me happy for longer, because it's just unleashed new life into this thing.
It is actually quick. It's not. It's not YouTube quick.
No. But as a daily driver,
it's usable quick.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like the 300 horsepower cars are like ridiculously fast, but you compromise a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like this has got no compromise at the bottom end. You've got
that
plenty.
4th gear pull is extremely pleasing.
Yeah,
I like that. That was 40 to 60 in what felt like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that is the gear in it. 4th gear.
Yeah. But I'm really happy. Thank you very much to Ryan and the Darkside team.
Yeah, literally, I've not done much.
Well, I mean, you're the boss. Why would you?
Yeah.
You've done all the hard graft.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Okay, brakes, wheel bearing, bodywork, 500,000 subs. Give it away. Happy days.
It's good, this, isn't it?
It is good, this. What's like a good northern expression that you'd use?
Mint.
Bloody mint, mate. You southern.
Yeah, exactly. Surprised your nose ain't bleeding. You come up too far up M1.
I'm happy.
Good. That's what we like to do.